So I have the new NVIDIA DGX Spark right here, and we're going to see how fast we can run the Ultralytics YOLO26 models, the new one that we have just released on this local NVIDIA machine. It's very small, it can pretty much just fit in your hand, and it can run crazy fast inference. We can get hundreds of frames per second. We can use the TensorRT deep stream optimized frameworks. We can convert it into an engine file as well with Ultralytics and see how fast it's running. So let's just jump straight into it and let's take a look at some results. I'm going to open up the documentation and then we just take the command that we need. So if we go inside our task, we have our detection. So let's just run update detection on some different videos. So we have the CLI tool, we have Python, this is how you can train it, do validation, but we're just going to see how we can run inference and how fast we can run it. So let me just grab this command. I'm going to open up cursor. I have a few videos that we're going to run through. So we have some different situations with cars driving around. We have people walking around. We have some different cars driving in different settings. So let's open up a new terminal. There we go. First of all, just make sure you have pip install Ultralytics. That's all we have to do. I'm just going to call NVIDIA SMI so we can see the GPU that I have available. So this is a GB10. This is pretty cool. So this is the NVIDIA DGX Spark. So let's now go in and copy paste this command. This is all we need to do. So I'm just going to copy paste it. We have the YOLO predict. We specify the model that we want to use, and the source is just going to be one of these videos that we have. So I'm just going to grab this one. It will download the model automatically the first time we run it. So this will be the relative path, and we also want to save the results. So while it's processing, it's going to save it and we can take a look at the output results after. Now all we have to do is just run it and it will do the rest automatically. We can see that we're taking 1920 cars and the inference speed at the end. So we're running around 4 or 5 milliseconds. If we just take the average, it's probably around 5 milliseconds. That's 200 frames per second, and this is the full inference running end to end on this video without any batch processing at all. So here we can see it's pretty much taken up nothing. We can see the predictions at the end, so it will be saved inside here. We have our file. We can open it up in the folder and play the video. So this is all the detection that we're getting. We're getting person, we're getting motorcycle, we're getting all these cars and all the detections. That's pretty much very cool, and 200 frames per second without doing any batching at all. When we have a video, we can batch it, we can make it run even faster. So one thing that we can do is specify batch. So we can set the batch here equal to, let's just say 32. Let's run it, and it's going to take 32 frames, throw it into the model, run the inference, and then extract the results again. And now we can see each image is only taking 2 milliseconds, or else we'll just take 1 frame, throw it into the model, get the results back, load the next frame into the GPU, get the results back. Now we're taking 32 frames, sending it to the GPU, it processes it, sends the information back to the CPU as well. So it's going to be significantly faster, and we're under 2 milliseconds for a full image. So this here is pretty much 500 frames per second that we're able to squeeze out of it, and this is without doing any optimizations for the NVIDIA GPU as well. So what we can do is go into the export tab in the documentation. We can just take our export. We have the YOLO export command. We can go down and see all the arguments that we can specify for TensorRT, for example. So this one, TensorRT, we can specify the engine if we want to use half precision, floating point, 16-bit, and so on. So let's go back again. We paste in our command. We want to export into the engine format, and we want to use half precision. So it's, instead of using 32 bits per weight, it's going to use 18 bits. We can even get it down to int8, but that will need a requirement, or we need our calibration image dataset, so we can calibrate based on our dataset, annotations, and so on. So it's going to be even faster. So we're just going to take the YOLO26 nano model. We're going to format it into the engine. Half precision, we set that equal to true, and you can specify all other different types of parameters. If we go inside our TensorRT, if we scroll a bit further down, we have a half precision, we have our int8. We can set it dynamic for input batch sizes. We can also have batch size. So right now the default is just going to have a batch size of 1. We can try both with 1 and also with 32. So let's just try batch 32. So it's going to do the exact same thing where we did with the 2 milliseconds inference. This is if we run on videos or we want to have a bit of lag and we can fill up our buffer first. So it's pretty interesting both to run it with batch size 32, but probably also just compare it with a single frame. So let's just run that for now. It's just going to be even more crazy fast than these 2 milliseconds, and this is even more than enough. So it's just export here. It's just going to take a bit. It will take the YOLO26 nano model. It will convert it into ONNX format, and then from ONNX format, it's going to optimize it for TensorRT. It's going to set up everything automatically. So if you don't have TensorRT on your computer already, if you have the CUDA dependencies ready, it's going to set up everything automatically for you. We have videos covering it in full details, or the arguments that you need to put in there or can put in there, and also how it just works in general. So now we can see it has pretty much already exported into an engine. Now we have our YOLO26 nano engine on the left side. Now we can go in and run our Inference 2. So see if we have it here. We should have it export, and we have predict. So now instead we just swap our model out with our engine. So we can run the exact same command. We have the batch size 32. We're not going to run with that now. We have our nano model, but now instead of PT, we just specify engine, and it's going to run with the TensorRT engine file and runtime with this prediction. So it runs through. This is just a single image that we pass through. This is not batch optimization at all. And we can see we get around, maybe if we just average it up, it will get 1.5 milliseconds. That's 600-700 frames per second on this board with the nano version. You can go up with the larger models, but we already get very cool detections with these models. And this is with floating point 32. You can even go down to int 8, and they will be even more fast. So now when you have this device, you can start to run multiple cameras at the same time. Already here, if we just get 500 frames per second and we just need 30 frames per second, we can already run more than 10 cameras and still do fine. So this is pretty cool. It went pretty fast, so we can try with the batch optimization as well. So we can try to specify batch, and this has 128 gigabytes of RAM, so you can even go like 128 for the batch size. Let's just try that. Let me see if I had the correct parameters. It looks good. So we have the engine format, batch 128. Let's see if we're able to do that and run even faster than 1.5 milliseconds inference time. So it will set it all up. Then we can try out some of the other videos. So now we have this track. Let's try with these people walking around. We have some people in the background. This is a more hardcore example to run through. This might just take a bit longer when we have the 128 batch size. So now our engine file is done. Let's just try with this other video that we have for now. So we run prediction. We have our new engine. It has just overwritten it. I think here in the prediction, we need to specify our batch size as well. So let's just do 100 and I think we did 128, right? Or yeah, there we go. Let's try to run it and see if we get even faster than 1.5. So it's going to load the YOLO26 nano engine. Here we got a problem. It's probably because it can't run with so high batch size, or it's not dynamic, but we can see we actually got some images through here, and we are less than 1 millisecond inference time per image. So this might just be some visualization stuff, but just to show how fast it's running, 1 millisecond, that's over 1000 frames per second. So it's crazy that it can throw in all those images, get all the detections in such a crazy frame rate. So now it has saved the engine for the batch size. So if you just try to run it here again, we're going to run it on this person video now, and we can specify the batch and set that equal to 128. Let's try to see if that runs through and how fast it is. So it's just going to take 120 images, throw it into the GPU, do the processing, and get back. And now we can see we get under 1 millisecond inference time, 0.6. So that's almost 2000 frames per second. This is just crazy that it's able to do this. And this is with the nano version. We're getting all the detections, all the people walking around. So this is pretty awesome. And we can go inside our predict folder and take a look at the output video. So let's see if we're getting all the detections. There we go. We don't get these people in the background because we're running the nano version and also lower resolution. If we increase the resolution, we're definitely gonna pick them up. But all the people in the foreground, it pretty much just detects them, and we're running this over 1000 frames per second if we use the batch processing. If you're not using the batch processing, it's also gonna be crazy fast. We can just try to run it, and we can look at the output results. So around 2 milliseconds inference speed here, so that's 500 frames per second. This is crazy fast. Like if you need a machine where you can both do fast inference, you can do training without taking too long. You have a desktop computer where you can work with NVIDIA ecosystem, CUDA, TensorRT, deep streaming and all that. It's so important to learn as a computer vision engineer and also just software AI engineer in general. Go check it out. We also have videos covering TensorRT, deep stream and so on in full detail. Hope you guys will learn a ton. This is a crazy fast model. Go in and check it out, and then I hope to see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy learning.